Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to some more Let's Play Biomutant. Before we go any further here, down below in the comment section will be another pinned comment from me with another timestamp, which will jump you ahead to where I actually hit continue. We're going to talk about Biomutant for a few minutes here, maybe about another 5 minutes or so before we get going. There's a few things I should admit to you guys before we pick back up. First off, you should know that I have scrapped the next 6 videos that I already had recorded, and I am re-recording this part. Today is June 2nd, 2021, almost midnight, but I feel that I need to re-record from this point forward. During the next 6 hours of this game, there were several video issues, and I myself had problems understanding some aspects of the game. In addition to difficulty understanding certain things, especially the crafting system, I have been frustrated by the combat controls, in particular the camera, which I have been fighting with for the past 7 hours of Biomutant. I've lost my temper once or twice and dropped a few words I shouldn't say, directed at the game and my dislike of how some of it was implemented. You will still probably hear me complain from time to time, but I have gotten used to the controls at this point. It just took a while for me to get used to them. In addition to these things, I had not realized that the game accidentally, or by my accidental manipulations, had changed the difficulty to hard, which got me beat the F up very frequently as I was playing this game. Very frustratingly, I suppose I should say also, which didn't really do much for me. Finally, I had gamma issues that my brother had just told me about. I was unsure how dark the game would be on uploading to YouTube, and it is something that generally the viewers can configure on their side, but I myself, in part 4, which has now been deleted, increased the gamma of the game right at the very end. So things should be a great deal brighter for us going forward, both in terms of what we can see and my outlook on this game, which was pretty grim as of part 6. But part 7, everything started to come together, and I began to enjoy the combat. Setting the difficulty down a notch back to medium, I think, really helped out in this regard, as my weapons were suddenly actually doing some damage to the enemies, and battles weren't taking so long. And now, I won't look like I'm a complete noob playing this game, which I was originally. This is one of the awkward things about playing a game blind, is that my initial blind reactions to controls or cameras that I'm not used to is pretty poor. Now, all that said, I still have a lot of criticism towards Biomutant, and I'm not sure that we will play it past about 10 or 12 parts, but we're going to be a bit better at it than what I was, and a bit more fair to it going forward. Let's go ahead and redo the fight, and hopefully I can show you guys that things are a bit easier for us. A heads up, by the way, that the game may act a little choppy when you're watching it here, but the game runs extremely smoothly when I am not recording it. So a heads up about that as well. You can see the frame rate on that red 53 in the lower right hand corner at the moment. That is my fraps icon, which is telling us what my frames per second currently is when I'm recording the game. When I have it disabled, it is quite higher than 53. But unfortunately, well, this is a gorgeous game. It takes a lot to record it at this resolution. So we should be happy we are even getting 50 frames per second. Oh, crap. I have to do a little more than... I thought I was someplace else. Oh, something else I've done. So I have disabled the narrator completely. There is a patch in the works, and actually has been applied already on Steam, which is add a customization option. The option to silence the narrator during dialogues, but allow the creatures to have gibberish as they speak. We got a brief taste of this when we talked to Out of Date, and I find that I myself do not like the narrator talking, translating for us. There's nothing wrong with it, but I would prefer if this game had been done like Star Wars: The Republic, where we get the subtitles as the creatures are speaking. But that is not the way this game will work. Even with the narrator disabled, it still doesn't work that way. I will not talk while the creatures are speaking their gibberish, but I also will not translate exactly what the narrator says. I will assume that you are watching the video, and or I will give a response to how my character is acting and do a very quick summary of what the creature was talking about afterwards. You'll see when we get to the flashback. And hopefully, it's time to find a way out of this place. No, really, I mean it. Yeah, thank you, narrator. We'll find a way out. Hopefully this place looks a lot better to you guys, and that you can actually see what's going on now. I always think a darker game is more thematic, and I like having to rely on my flashlight. Can I actually walk down here? I'm gonna try. Ooh, okay. This goop is not traversable by us. We will drown if we're inside of it for anything, even a slight amount of time. You have only a few seconds to get out of it. Okay, we have to redo our double jump. Really, really, really beautiful game. I'll talk a little. Oh, my character might look slightly different. I still have the sneer. I tried my best to recreate my character because I don't have a save from 7 hours ago. Oh, we have to redo this battle as well. Okay, so we're gonna redo a few things then before we get to the flashback. The morphs produce biomatter in their multigran that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coating strands of any being when absorbed, including you. So first off, I have a better appreciation of how the gun works. Special attacks! As you can see, we do a decent amount of damage now that this is actually on medium. And something I didn't... Oh, these guys have scorpion tails. So, something I did not notice before when I had been playing this game originally was how the gun camera works. I'm a little more appreciative of it. You still have that symbol over your head? Over there on the right, lower right, the game will tell me when I'm able to use a special attack. You guys will never see it. Or maybe you still will if I get really aggravated by how sometimes the command inputs don't work. But oh man, did I have a hell of a time trying to do the combos. Okay, so we picked up some bio blobs, and I'm going to stick with what I had done, which none of you guys will ever see, ever. We're going to go to our character. We're going to go to, yep, mutations. And I believe what I had done was I began upgrading my resistances, and I had taken a anti-biohazard and an anti-code to start. So we're going to do the same thing that I had done last time. And pick back up. If I sound a lot happier, it's because setting the difficulty to medium, and after quite a few hours of practice and dying quite often against the enemies, I now have a better grip on the combat. Is this where the secret was? Yes, okay. So we're going to make another attempt to get that. I guess while I'm doing this, I should mention, in case I didn't mention it in the last video when I was doing this, how I am a explorer type in MMOs that I play. And this sort of thing is what I live for in any game that has exploration in it, is finding secrets like this. Even if the secret isn't very good, I still like finding them. I suppose secret maybe too grand a word for what was inside that treasure chest. And interesting, I now just realized that I cannot double jump after I have fallen for a certain distance. You still need the upwards momentum. Also, thank you, Dave, for telling me the gamma was a little too dark. I will gladly take any excuse to re-record the past several hours, even though it will take several days to compress all these videos over again. One of the difficult aspects of YouTubing is that if I don't get feedback on my videos, I will assume everything's okay until it really begins to annoy me that things are not. Like, when I begin to watch my videos on YouTube, only then will I really notice how dark things are. Okay, so can I skip this? No, okay. So we already read a little bit about Toxinol, and I believe I had been talking about how I suspected that we were created by the results of Toxinol's introducing of biological and or chemical waste into the world. And sure enough, that is indeed the reason why we are here. Now, despite all my hours I have played, these are still a little frustrating to me, because I am never sure what it means to rotate L or R. If I'm looking at this knob, I think if I push LB, I will rotate the white part up. And we don't. We rotate it down. It's so frustrating. But now that I messed up it once, I shouldn't have any trouble with the rest of it. Okay, we don't need to watch that. We've already seen the Toxinol report in the last episode. We had a lot left to do. Holy crap, I'm so sorry, everyone, and we're redoing it all. But hopefully you guys can actually see this. The sound of spark metal is never a good thing. Let's get in there as quick as we can. I think right rotates the orange up? It does, okay. That means that we want this. There you go. Alright, let's get in there, save them, and see our flashback. Okay, we get told about stunning enemies, which is basically like Batman Arkham Asylum or Hand of Fate. So the way our gun works is that it locks onto a target. But then there's a spread, so the bullets can fire anywhere within that spread. Oh, we got... Yes, we can in fact be knocked out of our special moves if the enemy is in the middle of an attack. Ooh, I like this guy's hat! I want that hat! Oh my goodness, I made that look easy. And it was. Let's get all these pieces of scrap. Oh, sorry, it was easier than it was for me originally. We'll take anything on those corpses. Is that it? That's it. Sorry, everyone. I thought we were significantly closer, but I think it will be interesting for you to watch me redo those battles, because I think I did it quite a bit better. So, let's show you the main reason why I have actually disabled the narrator.
Ya you mawa, ye mufurbu bum.
A good name for that attitude, then.
Yavovo lolan awful.
But you recognize me, apparently.
Ya you mawa, tolemawa wanya. Ko bubuye buy.
Oh, apparently I have some history.
Bekuku hifad muk.
The scar.
Boyubut pai katawa. Ya, sawada mua. Ya, sawada mua. Tolitreya ya maulua.
So we had a very unhappy childhood, or it ended in an unhappy way.
Loma utulu ba yungu.
Well, hopefully I can correct the problems of the past now in the present to secure a better future for us. Unity. Ah, okay. There's no cooperation left then. All the clans have a different ideology. Do we remember the tree? Let's find out. Way back in the long ago. Now, I think it's thematic as a child that we would be running everywhere. It's what kids do. My niece and nephews run around everywhere. And this is the best guy ever. I'll take any excuse to listen to this guy talk again. I was laughing so hard the first time I heard him speaking. I love this guy. Hey, best before. And he is the best guy ever, because he's got even best in his name. And his best is before the second part of his name. It even says that right in his name. I don't think she cares. I suppose that's true. Oh! The potato people, or Nano, are a wonder somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life. Nano, potato people's better. Oh, okay. So I guess we break them open and smear them on the tree. Alright, well, let's get over there then. And ruffle through the glitter grass. A heads up, everyone, that as I was talking about, there is a patch already released on Steam that addresses some of the issues people were having with the early game, tries to address issues with the camera. They add options for the narrator, so you can still have him talk about everything that, like, you can disable him during dialogues, or disable the gibberish during dialogues. You don't have to listen to both of them. In my case, I just won't say what the narrator is saying. If you guys care, you can go ahead and read it as he's saying it. And I'll have my thoughts on it, just as you saw. Alright, I think we have to run around in this. Well, I'm glad we found one. What's PSI, though? Okay, that must be another name for the Tree of Life. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. Oh, I shouldn't read what he's exactly saying. Okay, so we'll need to find Nano and release them to help the tree grow. Okay, sure thing. I've had a lot of practice with nets and catching insects. The Nano isn't really an insect, though. But my time playing Zelda Skyward Sword, I learned how to do this. Oh, this thing knows where we are. Yes. Are we getting it? Oh my god. All we kind of did, we whacked it in the side. Where can I find them? Okay, so we'll have to keep our eye open for more glitter grass. I hope so as well. Okay, how do we do that? The inosculated PSI. Merge the Nano with the tree. If it's anything like swinging the net to capture it, I'm gonna feel really bad for this little Nano. This will be pretty brutal. Did a great job with the music in this game. It really is thematic. One of the reasons why I think I like that guy so much is he reminds me of Elvis, and I have this nostalgic feeling of when I used to play some of the Earthworm Jim games, where Elvis was a returning character in some of them, and he was done in a similar fashion, like a parody of him was there, and he was hilarious. I think he was also a character in another Shiny game. He was in the Clay Fighters, if I recall correctly. Alright, here we are at the tree. I don't know what we did, but it worked. Okay, so this is the typical standard story of an evil corporation mined too much. They digged too greedily and too deep, and resulted in the destruction of the world. Or did it? Because we actually have new life here. We are probably the results of the wastes, the waste of Toxinol. So, just because one thing dies doesn't mean the end of all life. It could mean the beginning of another. I shouldn't make her worry. Oh, that was... So this must... I think this is best before. He's completely different than his younger self, I suppose. I did not recognize him, but he does have the same sideburns. End of days? Oh, there's absolute proof that we are spawned from Toxinol's mistakes or accidents. So, we will learn here of these things called puffs, which are the world eaters, which I don't think puff's a good name for them. So maybe they're trying to hide how terrifying these things are by cutesy names. And we are learning that these creatures, these world eaters, are in these 4 different locations: northeast, northwest, southwest, southeast. And we will need to defeat all of them if we want to save the world tree. To get to them, it sounds like we will need to have constructed something special to reach them. Either a vehicle or some means of transporting ourselves to these creatures in some fashion. I got as far as... So we're going to be starting, I believe, with the Porky Puff. And I got as far as creating and driving around the Goo Glider, which I believe is what we'll be doing this time around as well. I don't think the game chooses a random enemy, one of these World Eaters, for you to fight. I think it's done in a very specific order. How can I defeat the World Eaters? Ah, nice nod. We get the net from him again. Those are some crazy looking pumpkins. This must be, I guess this is his home? There's nothing wrong with a simple life, if that's what he wants. Alright, date. We'll talk to you later. I don't understand why sometimes... So, you're going to be criticize the game a little bit as we play. Sometimes when we use the claw bar, we actually have to keep pressing X, but other times we just use it automatically. I don't know why, we just can't use it automatically and stop myself from doing that. Meaningless busy work is not something that I tend to enjoy doing in games. Let's try. So I tried several times to make this jump, and I wasn't able to do it any of the times I made the attempt. We're gonna try again, because I suspect there's something secret over there. One more attempt. I gave it 5 tries when I had done this before, and I was unsuccessful every single time. That's not a good start. You can't jump off the vines, you fall off of them, so it's a bit tricky for me to get the distance I need. Maybe if we don't jump from here? We can make it around this. And I think we can make that jump. Oh, no we can't. Okay. Well, then I'll assume there's nothing up there. That was our 2 tries. I don't want to spend forever on the video attempting to make jumps and bore you guys to death. I will also be doing quite a bit off-screen that I did accidentally on-screen last time. Inventory management in particular. we'll do like 1 or 2 inventories together, just so you understand like how it works. In case you're watching this Let's Play, I'm not sure if you want the game or not, but I will be doing most of the buying, selling, and even some of the exploring off screen, as I'm worried about boring you guys if I was doing all of it on screen. Knowing that the Tree of Life is dying, its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters. Welcome to Biomutant. Now, I am a huge fan of walking everywhere in the games. Yep, the games say, hey, by the way, you can sprint. Yep, that's certainly nice. I guess we'll get rid of that. Thank you. But I will only generally be running if it makes sense for me to do so in combat, for example, or I'm fleeing something. And mounts will be how I fast travel around. These work like the signposts in The Witcher 3. Once you find one, you interact with it, and you're able... Actually, is that... Yeah, I think that's the way it worked in Witcher 3. In our case, we mark it, and we'll be able to find our way here whenever we want. By, well, pissing on it. We can fast travel to any of these signs at any time, but but we'll never do that. I don't like fast traveling in games that have it for the most part. The exception was World of Warcraft, because of just how long it would take to get anywhere, and I wouldn't care about anything on the way. But even then, I would still occasionally find times to walk and smell the flowers. That is one of the World Eaters. That must be a World Eater that chewed off Out-of-Date's leg. You need a hat trick to bring that down. They look massive, and I'm thinking that the World Eaters have made their marks in our world over time, is what our narrator says. I suspect that they'll work like Shadow of the Colossus. That's not the first, nor the last village it'll leave it in its wake. We were told that they were at the corners of the route, but this one got free. I think, though, it's mostly for thematic reasons that it did so. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive. I wouldn't say made it out alive. I'd say was probably lucky in his survival. He was unprepared for a World Eater to show up here. Your inner balance is 2 halves that completes a wholeness that flows through all things. At times, you'll be able to manifest your inner balance through deeds and dialogue choices. Few are those who always act in the same manner, but our wholeness is the sum of the choices we make and the actions we take. The balance of your actions creates your aura score, which affects the dialogue with other characters. They'll react to, like, surprise if you help people if you're going down the dark path, or maybe horror if you went down the light path. I'm going to choose the same option with this guy that I chose when I had done this part earlier because it's hilarious. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you stayed true to your heart. Interacting with captives and psi shrines will award you with psi points that you can use to unlock psionic powers. Powers can only be unlocked once you have reached the required dark or inner light balance. So this works like the Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic dark side, light side points, where you need a certain level of it in order to... Well, actually, in Star Wars, you could get whatever you wanted. It just affected the casting cost of it. But here, it sounds like these powers are locked behind a certain number of dark or light side points that you need. The points that I guess we'll show you this afterwards, but I want to say I'll leave you to your fate. You've earned a side point. Use it to unlock powers and mutations menu. We'll do that in a second. But first, we have to finish this dialogue. Oh! Crap, I accidentally skipped it. Oh, come on, game. So, we are going to be now tasked with choosing a tribe, and he's telling us there is 2 nearby. A Jagdi tribe seek to become omnipresent and feared throughout the land. The Myriad tribe wants to bring the tribes together. Oh, and I skipped it. No, I did. No, I didn't skip it. I hit the A button. The Myriad's conviction is to stop the world eaters. The Myriad's conviction to stop the world eaters began at some... Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do. But is it the right thing? One thing's for certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagdi tribe only ever had one conviction, to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world and want to let the world eaters bring down the Tree of Life. We have to choose one of these 2 clans. By siding with the Jagdi isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way. So, we need to join a clan, because all the clans are fighting each other, and none are able to get a foothold above the others. So, because we've gone down the dark path, he suspects that we would like the Jagni. Have the tribes engage the World Eaters. So the Jagni want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life as part of their plan. Date says he'll go to the Tree of Life and wait there. And he'll definitely meet us again at some point, once we're all done with the Tribe War and the World Eaters. Alright, so I'm just going to skip this. This is all about using the menus to get to quests, and you can track different quests. I suppose we'll start with the Tribe War. Defeat all 4 World Eaters. Oh, wait, where's... So, the first thing... Well, let's select it. The motor bridge will bring us to the Jagdi tribe. I believe the tunnel will bring us to the Myriad tribe. So what happened to this guy is that you say, I'll leave you to your fate. He says, I won't make it without help. And then you uppercut him in the face and kill him. Which I thought was a ridiculous reaction on our character's part. It makes me think that, oh, there is treasure in here. It makes me think that the dark side, light side points are kind of ridiculous and over the top, similar to how they are in Star Wars: The Old Republic. There, you're getting dark side points in that game is so difficult because you have to be an absolute bastard to everyone. And I don't mean even like a small jerk. You gotta be a gigantic jerk. Like, if a dog walks in front of you, your option is leave it alone, in which case you gain light side points, or kill it, in which case you get dark side points, an equal amount of it to the light side points. Now, the points in this game, dark or light, you accumulate them on either side whenever you choose those actions, and they do not, in fact, cancel each other out. It's not a tug of war. They're two jars. One's filled with dark side coins, the other with light side coins. You can do a mix of both and fill both the jars. They won't cancel each other out, and you will be able to access the powers that they allow you. Oh, speaking of which, let's go ahead and go to mutations and side powers. And we're going to take Blaze. To use Blaze, side powers, it doesn't tell us about this. Alright, so you can see it over there on the right. And none of these have... okay, they do have dark auras. Dark aura, light aura, dark aura, light aura. These are just unlockable, so we're going to grab Blaze. We're going to go with we'll use fire abilities. Since our character has some innate fire resistance, I think this would make sense for our character. So, but I'm only probably going to select 2 of them. I think we'll probably get Blaze and Sizzle Ball, and I don't think we'll get any of the others. We have a few minutes left. Let's walk up here and at least say hello to the Jagni, and we'll stop after that, I suppose. Now, I myself, for this character, I don't really want to let the World Eaters destroy the tree. I would prefer to kill them, but still conquer all the other tribes. The guys in the goblin masks and the what looks like samurai armor are the Jagni. The others are the Myriad tribe. Oh, they do counter you. Ooh, right in the head. Alright, we leveled. Let's go ahead and spend that level. So I'm thinking 1 level we'll put every time we level. We should probably put it into a combat stat, like agility, strength, or vitality. And the other time we put it into a different stat, intellect, charisma, or luck. Let's put our first one into... sorry, our second one. We'll put it into charisma. For the better bartering prices. And we get an upgrade point. Which we can put into perks or Wung Fu. So let's grab a perk for our gun. And we'll take... oh, I need two-face... oh, no. I want a normal gun. Crane Dance. Now, something else about combos is you don't need a target to do them. You just need energy. That includes the one with our gun. That's interesting, because you can totally miss the enemy with any part of the combo, but then still finish it. I think that's kind of weird. They've destroyed this area, mudded up what used to be muck, as if it wasn't bad enough before the tribe war began. trenches. Jagni are really ready for war. They do not want to be attacked. They also apparently, though, don't mind leaving loot in the trenches for some keen-eyed Ronin to find. That is a really impressive looking fortress. I like the look of it very much. The outer wall has some giant creature's face painted on it. Must be one of the World Eaters. That's the Jagni tribe's fort. Their friendship can be a blessing or a curse. It's up to you. You're either a part of their solution to the tribe war or a part of the problem. So if you're not with them, you're against them. Let's go ahead and mark the flag. And then, let's see if they'll let us in. They don't trust us. I wish to join your cause. Show me to the Sifu, please. He'll let us in, but thinks we should be patient when it comes to the Sifu? I guess be more polite.
Zata is the muito tloho. Kariesne statse. Paro, yapkut, divis ye tereklidnes stats on a vocht. They
can only guarantee that there's peace if everyone who doesn't share their ideology is dead. Everything that existed before, all the old ways must be purged. That includes the Tree of Life, and they want the World Leaders to destroy it. Though they've mentioned the Great Wall a few times, we supposedly have crossed it. I suppose this means, like in Hollow Knight? We left an area that few are willing to leave, and have seen some things out there, and now we are back. Yeah, this sounds a lot like Hollow Knight. He's impressed that we survived out there, and that we did what we did, but he's glad we also came to him first. He can sense that we're not completely evil, that we're kind-hearted. Oh, right! He's one of the disciples who trained under our Muma. Our mother is who that is. Who are the other disciples? They all had their own values, they started their own tribes. Once the Blight started and began destroying crops or hurting people, everyone started fighting each other for what was left. He's giving up trying to have others all be allies and friends. Everyone needs to be destroyed, and they need to be feared. I'll join the Jagni. Only the strong should lead.
Na oko kiza zivot zum ilam dat nete.
The Myriad Tribe.
Zum ilam dat nete. Zenakas people snatste.
The only way forward is, again, through new techniques. The old must be burned away.
Yeti rikle otloho.
It's going to be painful, but this has to be done. We need to end this quickly.
Skuni yaput otloho.
I didn't realize it, but our Sifu's name is Creeps, by the way. They definitely don't want this dragging out. So we need to make it to these locations, these outposts, and defeat the enemies within each one. Now, the Myriad Tribe reaches out to us telepathically and tells us how terrible we are for joining with the Jagni, and that we'll only be able to learn their Wung Fu art and get their tribe weapon only if we kill them now. Oh man, that's a terrible thing to say. They want to wage a war where the only thing left behind is the dead bodies. The dead.
Mali muzamit.
The tribe weapon.
Mali muzamit onis porenos odlisini.
These weapons weren't designed for battle. Not really, but they're beginning to use them as such. In such.
Tel novazi ale dlohodo uko. Odlisini novai. Na uko onis poloknost.
So, sometimes they mention this, that, like, you still have the potential to do good. And I think that, like, that means that they don't want us to become more dark. But I don't understand why. It requires a dark ideology to work, to do some of the things this Sifu is going to ask us to do. What about the old village? Okay, so we should probably go to the old village then. In fact, that's what we're going to do. And see what there is to remember there. But we'll do that in the next episode, everyone. Thank you for watching this. And when we come back, we'll be in another long flashback. So I'll see you guys then. And take care, everyone. Thanks for watching.